Hey everybody, it's 9 o'clock and 9 o'clock is with me, Father Warner. We are in Thursday, the third week of Lent, and our text today is taken from the prophet Jeremiah, chapter 7, verse 23 to 28. I recommend very strongly that you pause this video, read Jeremiah chapter 7, verse 23 to 28, and then listen to this teaching on which I'm going to base, which is based on this text. Also, for your benefit, in the description box you will find a link both to my blog as well as to the YouTube channel that will take you to a link based on the gospel of today, that's taken from Luke chapter 11 verse 14 to 23. So if you'd like to have a reflection based on the gospel, just go to the description box and click on that link. I've entitled today's teaching based on Jeremiah chapter 7, Truth has Perished, and really it's a continuation of yesterday's teaching that we did. Now, in school, the one day that I distinctly remember dreading was the day which we called Open Day. Now, to many of you who are unfamiliar with the Indian education system, this was really the Armageddon for students like me. Why? Because I was never really a bright student, and to make matters worse, a very traumatizing math teacher had made it quite clear that duffers like me would not succeed. Now, Open Day was the day when our parents were called to school to meet the teachers, and the report card was then presented to our parents. It was the day I always felt the smallest, because my report card revealed many red lines under each grade. In short, I had not made the grade. God is no traumatizing math teacher. Quite the contrary, God was to the people of Israel the merciful father to his errant children. He was the loving husband to an adulterous wife, as we see in the book of Hosea, a wife that prostituted herself to every nation. And God was also the shepherd to a wandering flock of sheep. Yet, in the face of much love, Israel fared miserably. In today's text, Open Day has dawned for the people of God, and it could not have been worse for Israel. Her report card is spelt out in today's first reading. God is scathing in his remarks. He holds back no punches and lays every single card on the table. Israel has failed miserably. She has fared worse than her ancestors, and God calls her stiff-necked. She is disobedient, stubborn, evil, does not listen, follow her own counsel, and had not progressed. She had moved backwards and not forwards. And this report card of Israel is to be found in the text of today in chapter 7, verse 24, in precisely the words I just said them. So what is brought on all of this? Why have the people of Israel fared so miserably? This is a question I presume a parent would ask on Open Day if their child had failed miserably. What's gone wrong? Why is he failing so miserably? Chapter 7 to chapter 20 of the prophet Jeremiah takes place during the reign of King Jehoiakim during the years 609 to 598 BC. He reigned for 11 years. Now, just 12 years after the death of this king, Jehoiakim, the people of Judah will be taken into exile. After the death of King Josiah in 609 BC, his son Jehoahaz rules for about just 3 months before he is taken prisoner by the Egyptians under Pharaoh Necho, who defeated his father Josiah in battle. Pharaoh Necho now places Jehoahaz's brother on the throne, and he changes his name to Jehoiakim. Now, while his father Josiah brought about great reforms in the religious life of Judah, these reforms seem to have been dependent on his own personal action and beliefs, and did not seem to have penetrated really the people's spirit, who continued with their idolatrous worship. The king was faithful, one of those few kings in Israel who were faithful, but the people continued to be disobedient. Now, the passage of today reflects the religious and the moral state of Judah during the first 5 years of Jehoiakim's 11-year rule. The people have gone back to idol worship and they have disowned Yahweh. Yet there seems to be an apparent boast from the people, a kind of a false hope that has become part of their belief system. And what was that hope and belief? That nothing could harm them as long as they had the Temple of Jerusalem. We know the end of that story. God's final word to his people through the prophet are words of great frustration. Jeremiah is told that while he is to speak, he will not be listened to. While he is to call, he will not be answered. Hence, forever, this is a nation that is to be called a disobedient nation, one that did not obey the voice of the Lord their God and did not accept discipline. They did not accept it because truth had perished from them. Now, I pray, my dear friends, that these words never be said of us when we stand before the throne of grace to be presented before God with our own report card. May he look at us kindly and may he see us as faithful and obedient to his will. God bless you for joining me today. Thank you for your love for our foundation that cares for children. If you'd like to make a donation, you can always get to me. I constantly give you updates about this home. Thank you for all your love. And don't forget, as usual, as I always say, like this video, share it, because when you do it, you become an evangelizer, you share God's word. Don't forget also to subscribe to this channel if you haven't done it. If you're listening to us for the first time, by subscription, you get constant reminders. God bless you, everybody. Keep well, and I'll see you again tomorrow at 9 o'clock. 9 o'clock is with me, Father Warner.